Bowen lives in Tartosa now. This is Bowen's look now, and he's a very handsome guy. Amari wants to move in. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. You're watching Just a Mom That Sims. I'm KT, and I'm here today with another redemption's journey. So, if you like my content and you like to have fun, then please consider liking, subscribing, following, commenting. Just do all the things. So we have a special episode today, and I am actually here today with Bowen Pritchett. And Bowen lives in Tartosa now. This is his home, and Tartosa is another one of those really, really beautiful worlds. I see that he's gotten tired and went to lay down, but this right here is his new girlfriend, and her name is Amara Nakpil. I do believe that Amara is from Tamarang, but I'm not 100% sure. Based on her clothing, I did look at MC Command Center, but I'm not familiar enough with the names of the houses to know. She's a really good lady. She's just here like cleaning up and things. The first thing I want to show before we get into Bowen's story, I want to show you what Bowen is really looking like now. This is Bowen's look now, and he's a very handsome guy. To be clear, I did not change any of his facial features. This is exactly how I created him. His looks were full of potential. He just needed to be able to jazz himself up a little bit. So his everyday and formal outfits, he's still a pretty laid back guy. He's not going to be in the highest end clothes, but he definitely buys new clothes now. He's not going to wear the torn up hand me down clothes anymore. This is Bowen. His facial hair came in fully because he's an adult now. What hasn't changed about Bowen is his traits. He's an outdoors person, shy, a good sim, unflirty, and handy. He's got some other traits that we're going to go and look at now. I'm gonna pause it for a second just to show you. Noah was hot headed, and that came from when Creasia cheated. But he has been working on that, and we're gonna talk about that because this is Bowen's episode. It may or may not be shorter than other Redemption's Journey episodes, but because we've been talking about Creasia coming to see Bowen, to try to have a conversation that has some apologies and closure, and who knows where it'll go. But we need to look at Bowen. He's a quick learner and would be happy to have a child. Oh my gosh, and Haley is here. So Haley has tried to keep in touch with Bowen, so he will let her in, and we're going to talk about all these things. If you can see their friendship is at about a 55%, so we're going to look at those things. But right now, Bowen is a level 10 fishing. He is a level 8 painting, and that's his new career. He's midway fitness, cooking, handiness, gardening. Some of those things he grew up with. He is going to actually go ahead and cook something for everybody that's here. He is a decent cook. He's definitely not going to give anybody food poisoning, but they may not be begging for more. He's just going to make some fish tacos. Let's talk about Bowen and what he was up to after Cresia cheated. Bowen left. Bowen asked for the divorce. He initially went to his dad's house because he was poor and broke. I mean, it's just what the situation was. A lot of us have not had the means to move away we would like to move in the time we would like to move. But Bowen didn't even know what he wanted. He was so angry. And you can see right now, he's even happy from kissing earlier because when Amara came through, they kissed. Now, this is something that has been popping up. Amari wants to move in, and Bowen has told her no a few times before, but he is going to tell her yes now. Bowen was so angry. His dad tried to talk to him, and as you know, that his dad Judd and Cresia are really good friends. Now, I want you to see that Bowen didn't have the biggest skill set. He was working a part-time job, and him and Chrissy got married as teenagers. So he knew that school was not going to be for him. Gosh, Haley's got hearts. This might be a problem. I don't know what's going on with Haley. We'll do an episode where we kind of explore what's going on with her more. Haley says she tries to approach things from a thoughtful and informed perspective now. So I'm sure she does. I need Bowen to go and cook so that everybody can eat. What happened was Bowen knew he couldn't go back to school. It just wasn't for him. And that's fine because formal education past high school is not for everybody. It doesn't mean that you can't have a productive and fruitful life, real life lessons in the Sims people. So Bowen went and got a trade. It was a long, hard road for Bowen. And it wasn't because of what Cresia did, it was because of the anger he was holding on to. It was a lot. And he was just so upset about it. He just could not get it together. Bowen went to school to become an artist. And in that, he learned to release and forgive. So he actually framed his very first painting, which was horrible. But everything you do won't be good at first. You have to step out sometimes. And for me, it's step out on faith. And this was his a painting he did after he first moved to Tartosa. And this is the view from just outside of his house here. And now looking at it makes me want to paint it at night. So we may have to have him do that. He just needed to do something different. So, being a freelance painter allowed him to make a living for himself, but he stayed with his dad for a long time. He was finally able to buy this beautiful home in Tartosa. It was bigger than he needed. And at the time, he didn't want to explore it too much. However, when he really thought about it, he knew it was because he wanted a family. He always wanted a family, and he was letting his past dictate his future. That was Bowen's road. It was his journey, and it just was not easy. If we go up, you'll see Amara wants a child as well. She's gonna see if Bowen wants to woohoo. Now, let's talk about the romance. Bowen is still unflirty, but he went to a therapist who referred him to a woohoo therapist. In doing the woohoo therapy, he realized that it intimacy is not always about woohoo. It is about a connection. Later, he realized I did not have intimacy with Cresia. I didn't have intimacy with pretty much anybody. He even had time to explore his relationship with his dad because he learned that he was putting blocks up with his dad. All of that time, he had been so resentful of his dad for not caring about him enough, not loving him enough. And through therapy and woo therapy, oddly enough, too, because he did both. He realized, like, oh my gosh, my dad did care about me. He was able to look back on those times and see the things that he missed as a child. So Bowen just really, really needed to do a lot of work. Did that change that Cresia cheated? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But it did change his perspective of things, and that was important. From his move to Tartosa, he kept working in the freelance career and following Amara playing big block because she's going to have to soon figure out what she likes to do. Fishing is another thing that they have in common. They like to go fishing together. Bowen actually went to Tamarang. He didn't know anything about Cresia because he was horrible to her. Horrible. After the divorce, he would call her and say just the nastiest, meanest things. And he's been thinking about her and he wants to apologize to her, but he eventually lost contact. She had to change her number. And his dad wouldn't give it to him because he counseled him in forgiveness, but also in your behavior. You cannot control anybody else's behavior, but you can absolutely control your own. Another real life lessons in the sim, okay? Bowen decided to go to Tamarang, and by that point, he did know that Chris at least lived there, but he found that out when he told his dad he booked a ticket. His dad let him know that that's where he had been journeying to Cressia's parties and get-togethers. You know, he's always there. So he went and he saw Cressia in the night market across the way. He made sure to stay out of her way. He definitely did not want to have the conversation then. He just kind of made a note that one day, if he ever had the opportunity again, he would like to talk to her and just apologize. Look, he's thinking about Cresia right now. I want to show you Cresia in Bowen's mind right now. He has zero friendship with her, but if you remember, he was red to the top 100%, and the romance is like a 50% red, which the romance will never be there. He doesn't know anything about Cresia now, but his dad told him that she's ambitious because he asked about it. He's not trying to be with her. I want to be clear about that. That's what he thinks of Cresia, but that hate. that was there is not there anymore. And that's the thing we're here to note. He wants to go out and volunteer with his family. Amara is a loner as well, and I think she's kind of falling in love with video games. Owen didn't have woohoo protection this time because he wasn't expecting her to move in, but she's not pregnant. She's definitely going to let him know that because it's something that they kind of worried about, but they do both want children. Bowen went on about his life. His hate started to lessen when he found out what Creasia had been up to lately. And time went by, and he realized, why am I so angry all the time? And is this good for me? I'm gonna have Mara go down here and swim, and she'll be on a long journey, but she loves exercise. Bowen is going to try to get this freelance gig done because we're on his episode, but he does have a life to live and now a girlfriend who stays with him. He's been wanting to propose to her, has been very reluctant to get married again. Now, Amara knows about his past and she knows what happened, but she wants marriage and she wants a life. And he's being patient. However, she's making it clear he has to do a forgery now. She's making it clear that she is not going to wait around for him with marriage. He did ask her to be his girlfriend, where now she was willing to accept that much. I don't think any of the markets are open over here. I was trying to get her some food down here, but I'm just make sure she has enough to stay busy. Did he do the forgery? I think he did. Sent to client for approval. It looks great, actually. It's what they're looking for. He's excellent in the freelance artist career. He's actually going to travel down here with Mara because he does want to spend time with her. He's going swimming, and we'll just walk down with him. Hallie actually really liked Bowen's friendship, so she started calling him and keeping in contact. And Creasia knows about it. It is not a secret. What Creasia doesn't know about Hallie is what is going on with her. Her cousin has been so mad for so long, and Creasia just wants to make sure she's okay. But Bowen is looking good. After so long, Bowen's dad came to him and told him he was going back to Tomarang, and he told him that Creasia was getting married. But this brought a wave of emotions over Bowen. He didn't know how to feel about it. He knew he should be happy for her. He wasn't not happy. It just made him start thinking, oh my gosh, why am I being stagnant? He met Amara on the Simda dating app. They hit it off right away, talking about fishing first off. He loves fitness. She loves fitness. She's a really good sim, and he is too. They got to a place, he had a really hard time opening up about certain things. He finally told her that he had problems with his views on woohoo. And they talked about it in detail. Amara made it clear that woohoo is important to her. She did also let it be known that she would be patient. She's going to get the roast dug. I'm going to send Bowen over here to eat too. Maureen is calling Bowen. Looking at his relationships, he does keep in touch with Maureen the most, but he can have distance sometimes. He has talked to Neil in passing only as he has answered the phone when he called Maureen a couple of times. Neil has a little beef with Bowen, and the biggest thing is he told his daughter she was wrong, but you're not gonna devalue her or tell her she's not worthy of love because he knew that wasn't true. He was not going to put up with that being the message given to her from any man. And most importantly, Neil understood Cresia had these insecurities in her past as well. Now Bowen is willing to woohoo and kiss. He's gonna welcome her to the household. He's just gonna kind of get to know more about her. But I want to show you, look, offer lap reluctantly. Like, he can lightly brush her cheek. It's hard for him still. He's working on it. He really is. Bowen does want a family, want to propose, but he's just not been the most open all the time. But he does make an effort with her. She does want to let him know she wants to see growth with him too in their relationship. She needs him to make that move. He understands. He's wanting to warm her up. She's a little cold, but a lot of his actions are reluctant. But it's not because he doesn't really care about Amara. It's because he still struggles with this. She knows and she trusts that he's working on it, but that's why she suggested moving in together. They're actually going to Woohoo now, and so we'll just follow them to wherever they're going. Looks like maybe back home. And that would be in tune with Bowen. He's not gonna be too adventurous, not gonna be a whole lot of out of the way places. But even the fact that he can spontaneously woohoo without I'm not telling him to do it, it was autonomous. The fact that he can do that is amazing because even before Creasia cheated, you saw she would try to entice him, seduce him. She was inexperienced as well, but he would just say no. Mara's been exercising, so after that, she's definitely gonna calm down, use the restroom and shower and take a pregnancy test. Bowen, he's still got to work with himself on if he wants to propose, how he's going to propose, and when. He's made a decision to call Cresia and see if they can talk.
Creating new
He's going to tell
play.
her it can come to Tumarang or whatever I need to do. I will do it. And they're having a positive conversation. Bowen needs to do this to let go of any residual feelings. He has been a big work in progress. Garcia did something that was wrong, but Bowen had a lot of issues to work through. He's also going to invite his dad over. If you can see, their relationship has fallen, but it was worse than that. So we really need to look at it in reverse. It's actually up from where it was. In reality, Bowen put that distance there. He did. He just wants to apologize to his dad. Just let him know that he still loves him. Judd is even agitated just arriving here because he's anticipating another fight between them. He's just tired of being at odds. Owen is just telling his dad that he's grown and that he loves him and that he's sorry. He's telling him that he's sorry that he treated him this way. He understands now. He understands that his dad was grieving when they lost his mother when Bowen was very young. He's just telling his dad, I'm sorry because I should have been better, done better. Of course, Judd is going to joke around with his son and he's going to always forgive his son. Judd is just telling his son that he is safe with him and that he's so proud of him for doing better. You need a safe space. I'm your shoulder to lean on, and he's empowering him to make good choices. This is something you do with your kids when they are small, but guess what? It doesn't end. This can be things that you do for your children as adults. He's just gonna let them know as long as I'm here, I will be here for you. As we get ready to leave off, we will next episode be back with Cresia, and Boa and Cresia are finally going to have the conversation that we've all been waiting for. So I hope you enjoyed this episode, and until next time, remember, keep simming, be happy, and always have a blessed day. Bye bye.